Anne-Katrin has covered 850 kilometers on her trip. Old watchtowers help her find the route the Iron Curtain once took through the Rhön region. Her destination is a former US military observation post, Point Alpha. This was where Soviet troops were expected to pour into West Germany if the Cold War heated up.
The actor Sir Peter Ustinov once called Point Alpha the hottest spot in the Cold War because East and West were directly facing each other here. But luckily, nothing ever happened because the soldiers were only supposed to observe each other here, and the place on top of this mountain range is very ideal for that.
On the other side of the border was the westernmost region of communist East Germany. The US military abandoned the post 2 years after the border was opened. Now it's an important memorial to the division of Germany. During the Cold War, 40 US soldiers manned the station at Point Alpha. They were part of the international troops that were supposed to protect West Germany from an attack by the Soviet Union and its Warsaw Pact allies. Across from Point Alpha, on the eastern side of the former border, there's now an art project called The Path of Hope. Its metal sculptures highlight the freedom struggle of those locked behind the Iron Curtain. Sculptor Ulrich Barnickel designed them. He grew up in communist East Germany, but managed to emigrate to West Germany in 1985.
When you were a young man, you left the GDR, but nonetheless you're working on the memory of it. Why?
My father is from West Germany and my mother from East Germany, and I've spent almost half my life in West Germany. And I wanted to do something to ensure this dictatorship isn't forgotten. My art should encourage people to remember so that liberty and democracy survive and people continue to strive for them all over the world.
The Path of Hope leads to the House on the Border, a museum that documents the former East Germany's border fortifications. Photographs document hazardous escape attempts when, using ladders or tree trunks, East Germans tried to get over the border. The most spectacular successful attempt was made in a homemade hot air balloon. Because the sky over Germany is no longer divided, balloons can take off anywhere now. And there's one waiting just a few kilometers south of Point Alpha. Anne-Katrin wants to get an aerial view of the former border. Balloon pilot Matthias Matan offers flights over the Rhön all year round. With luck, the winds will be coming from the right direction to take them to the former border strip. Matthias Matan comes from Gersfeld, about 20 kilometers southwest of what was once the inner German dividing line. He points out where it ran.
You can see it really well here. This area that was clear-cut through the forest marked the border. Nowadays, you can hardly distinguish between east and west anymore because it zigzagged so much.
A small white spot serves as a landmark. It's a watchtower on the eastern side of the border. The balloon rises to an altitude of 2,200 meters. The higher it gets, the easier it becomes to see the swathe cut through the Rhön region.
You can see the former border from up here pretty well because it's everywhere where it's green and the trees are missing at the sides. So it's no wonder that people call this former border now the Green Belt.
It's paradoxical. Only from way up high can you see precisely where the border ran. And you can also see that it really is a blossoming border.